Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today I'm going to be doing a Microsoft Flight Simulator video 2020. Now, as far as things goes, this is going to be taking a look at the graphics, specifically how realistic is buildings and stuff in the game, AI generated buildings, and how realistic is basically the AI generated areas. Notice how this works is basically the game uses Bing satellite maps, and it says, okay, this looks like trees, and it puts trees over the area. It doesn't really look at the type of trees or anything like that. As far as the building, something very similar. It says, okay, this is a building, and then it goes from there. Now, with that one in mind, how realistic is it? As you've seen, as we get closer, it becomes more and more and more and more unrealistic. And this is the theme of things. So if we go off and let's go ahead and pause the actual plane somehow, and use the camera to move away from the plane so we can just freely go where we want. We can take a look in the area, and you can see that there's just a mismatch of everything. Like, for example, this house, it has trees in its driveways, and I can tell you from going to this location numerous times, this is not like it in real life. Basically, this is an all big hill. In fact, the story behind this is believed that Indians, Native Americans, made a massive hill area because they used to use that waterway to go fishing. And on top of that, this was a good farming area, housing and stuff like that. And this little patch of trees right here, this is actually cleared out, just has massive oak trees and whatnot, and it's considered to be a Indian burial grounds, along with other burials there, but it's considered to be Indian gravesite. So with that, I can tell you that no, that's not realistic. Plus, on top of that, if we take a look at it, get a little bit closer, you might say, okay, that kind of looks like it might go down, but it's just an illusion of things because it gets darker right here, and it's all just 2D. It's all flat, same level as the water itself, which actually brings the level of disappointment into itself, because if you just want to do some weird things, oh, I wonder if I could land my plane out in front of whatever houses. Yes, because everything's 2D, there's no real risk, whereas in real life, maybe not. So that's a big thing to note, is you got things like that. Then you got stuff, let's see if I can find it. So over in this area, some of the houses, I can guarantee you, they look 100% different when you actually take a look at things. So how does it work is basically, if we take a look at this one right over here with the blue roof, it just takes a look at the general shape of the roof, and it figures out, okay, this is what the general shape is, so this is the size of the house needed, so throw general shape house 1 there and go with it. The neat thing with it is you're able to populate houses fairly easily. The bad thing with it is, if you are familiar with the areas, you can say, oh, that does not have a chimney, nor does it have half of these doors that's facing these ways. And like with this particular house over here, that has a blue wall in real life, and there's a building right behind it, and another building somewhere over here. The fact is it doesn't even produce most of the buildings, and we're not talking about something that someone changed the color to it, last night. Things been that way for, I don't know, since I was been born. So for most part, you're looking at areas that a lot of this is not well developed when it comes to the AI. Now, as far as that goes, the road itself, notes that it looks like crap. It looks like it's a dirt road. The fact is this is very much paved asphalt road in real life. In fact, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this particular area on Google Maps. So I'm going to be blurring out a few things because I don't want people bugging people in the given areas. But as far as things goes, this is the Indian graveyard that I was talking about, and the reason why I bring that up is, as you saw as we were moving around, where it looked 2D, notes that it actually drops off fairly significantly, and it's like this all the way around. So I can tell you, basically, they got it wrong. It's not 2D across. Then you take a look at things like, say, for example, if we go and take a look at that house, which they thought was completely blue, it isn't. And you can see that, yes, the roof at one point was blue, but as far as that, it isn't. You can even see that, let's see if we go a little bit this way, you can even see that it showed that there was some house over there, but it's just a carport. That's literally it. And you can see, like right here, again, like with that one, it has blue walls and even a blue building behind it, and then some other building there. It got roof kind of right, not really, but it missed out on several buildings. Now, as far as this area, this is Cocoa Beach, Florida. It's an area I used to live at, and as things goes, this is kind of what it looks like. One big thing to note is the area is mostly flat, so not really going to be paying much attention to that, but it does have a lot of islands. And if we get kind of close here, we can take a look and see that yes, some of the islands do show up, but for the most part it's kind of not existing. I'm going to show you a little bit more about this on the satellite maps, the actual satellite maps. Now, and when we get down into the buildings level, as again, it looks fine, fine over whatnot, but for the most part, we're going to start seeing some problems like we did before. So if we go ahead and pause that, let's just go to showcase so we can go street level, and you can probably start picking up on certain problems. There is no buildings, so there is no buildings at all. From here it kind of looks fine because it's all playing like some type of optical illusion, but once you get below a certain point, there is no buildings whatsoever. This is something to note, is not all areas are actually done that well. You literally have it where trees and whatnot's done, but the AI, for whatever reason, couldn't recognize these places as buildings. And therefore it just never actually made them. In certain areas it might have tried, like right there, it might have tried to some aspect, but yeah, it didn't really do a good job. Now, as far as these columns, I don't know what that's about, and that's there's something to note. Oh yeah, and by the way, with cars and stuff like that, one thing that you'll notice is that it is not really high resolution. It's meant more for seeing well above. The reason why it's important to bring up is because if you're dealing with certain airports like refueling and whatnot, you'll see that exact problem. So it is kind of noticeable, and I wish that they actually did work on it, at least for those few vehicles. Obviously with these standard vehicles, it's whatever, but it's just one of those things. And like you can see here, once in a while the vehicles don't even drive on the road itself. So anyways, this is just something worthwhile to note, is while it looked like there was something, so if we go back to the actual view up here, while it does look like there is some buildings and it does look to be worthwhile, you'll just note that no, it's not actually worthwhile at all, because there is simply no buildings at all. There's just pictures on the ground. So as far as things goes, if you take a look at the Thousand Isle, this area, the islands, they obviously didn't show up in the game worthwhile, but here you can clearly see. And I think it's just more or less one of those. It would have been very great if they could have gotten it, because stuff like this, you'll find places like that all over, and this is unique. It's worthwhile seeing type of stuff like that. But since they weren't able to get it, maybe it was some algorithm thing or something else. But the big thing I wanted to point out with this is the houses. The houses, the thing with that is not all areas have buildings. It looks like it from space or from air, because you're high enough away where you're not going to get enough detail anyways. But it's perhaps that when VR starts becoming more of a thing with this game, that kind of be noticeable. But as it is, it's not really that noticeable until you get kind of close to stuff, as you saw. But it does kind of suck that not all areas have buildings, that some areas fall quite short into that. So that is something worthwhile noting, that yes, it might show your house there, but no, it's not really there. One, the building's going to probably be wrong all out, but also on top of that, there's a chance that the building might not be there at all. It's just going to be an image on the ground, as you saw there. So with that in mind, if you like this video, if it's helped you out and figure out if you want to buy this or figuring out some things with this game, then feel free to leave a like, subscribe, share. And also, if you want me to cover anything else on this game or any others, then feel free to let me know in the comment section. I'll take a look at that. Plan to make some tutorial videos on this particular game, so feel free to let me know what you want me to take a look at, and also even what areas you want me to take a look at, and I'll see what I can do. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next video. Hope you have a great day.